Greetings and salutation, and welcome to the 1st of April if you're watching this in real time. When I woke up this morning, I was thinking about the tradition of April's Fool's Day. I can't even sometimes say April Fool's Day. There we go. All Fool's Day, it's called. And I was like, that's kind of a fun concept. I wonder really what goes into that. So we wanted to do a little research. So this is what I've learned about April Fools. I'll probably say that funny every time because it just comes out of the tongue so interesting and a little chaotic. So April Fool's Day is one of those few days where it's a little chaotic. It's completely accepted, right? But where did this actually come from, and why do we celebrate it? If you celebrate it, it's not something that I always participate in, but I do enjoy a good prank, a little bit of mischief, and I enjoy that kind of energy. So a full day surrounding that, I'm like, what could be wrong with that? So let's look into the meaning of April Fool's Day, because it's not actually just about pranks. That's what I learned. It's about perception, which we love that word. So what is April Fool's Day? April Fool's Day is celebrated on April 1st. It's known for pranks, jokes, and playful deception. It's a social agreement. Today, things might not be what they seem. It creates a temporary shift in reality. It invites humor and looseness and play into the world. And what better way to live life than in play? Especially a day where everyone socially decided that, yeah, there might be pranks today. There might be, a little bit more fun in like taking the piss out of somebody or the mick, whatever you want to call it, So let's talk about the history of April Fool's Day. There's no single confirmed origin that I could find when I was researching, but a few strong theories that kept coming up. So one was the calendar shift theory, and this was in 1582. The Gregorian calendar adopted and replaced the Julian calendar. So the new year moved from March to January 1st. So people who celebrated in April were called fools. So that's kind of funny and a little cruel, but interesting. Kind of talks about how society likes to move and shift, and if you don't fall in line with it, it's going to label you as something, right? But we don't have to fall into those games. Once we see those patterns, you don't have to do it. Just because someone else or a different group chooses to live, practice, or do something different, maybe that's not aligned with you, you don't have to label them as anything. Just learn that what they're doing is not right for you and you're not aligned, but they can do them, right? We don't need to call people's names all the time. It's so crazy, but it's kind of wild that there was a theory that this is one of the reasons April Fools is a thing. So these people were seen as out of sync with the new system, right? They weren't moving in with the times. And then there's the festival traditions, right? Connected to older spring festivals like Holi in India and Hilaria. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If anyone knows in the comments, let me know. These themes in the festival were all about reversal, humor, and breaking social norms. Holi is more than just that, but it just came up a little bit with the idea of April Fools. So the world celebrates differently. Different cultures, some have the same playful energy. Like in France, there's Poisson d'Avril. I'm not saying that right, but it was called April Fish. People tape paper fish to others' backs. Does anyone do that? Anyone from France ever participate in that? Is that like an actual thing or just something that the internet has deemed as like a historical thing? Let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious about these. In the UK, pranks only before noon. Also, again, anyone who's from the UK, let me know if that's something you guys participate, or is it an all-day thing? In Japan, it's more subtle and polite humor. Is that just a cultural stereotype, or is that a factual thing? Anyone from Japan want to give their input on how they celebrate April Fools, if it's even celebrated? And in the US, it's a lot of media pranks and viral jokes, especially on social media. Like, pranks are something very dominant in social media, I've noticed. I kind of like a lot of them. There's this one where people have like the moving doll. That one is so funny to me every time. So that's kind of prevalent in American or United States culture when it comes to April Fools. But I mean, if anything, to be honest, April Fools might be every day in the United States. I'm just not gonna lie, the way that people seem to like pranks over here. every culture plays just in their own language. So it's kind of cool. If you have your own way of celebrating April Fools that's tied to your culture, let me know. So the energy of the day. This day follows looseness, creativity, and unpredictability. Psychologically, it breaks routines, it releases tension, and it invites laughter. It's a day to celebrate joy and not taking things so serious, right? It's one of those days where not being serious is the point. It's the point of the whole day. So there's, you can use April Fool's energy if you like. You can play with different perspectives. You don't have to take everything at face value, and you can question assumptions, right? You can be like, wait a minute, do I remember what today is? Is this true? Is this true? And it brings a little bit more lightness and sometimes to themes that are super heavy. And when you can do that, it helps to elevate your life, your perspective on things. So you can ask yourself, why am I believing automatically in things? Like, am I gullible? Am I gullible to things? Am I gullible to certain people? Where could I see things differently? It opens up different perspectives in order to notice things. Do you fall for pranks when they're pulled on you, or can you see through them? What's your instinctual insight like when it comes to seeing through illusion? And then, where am I taking life too serious? If someone does prank you, or you experience a joke, or you're on the other side of a joke, do you take it serious? Do you get butthurt and all that type of stuff? Because sometimes, I don't want to say toughen up, because it's not that you need to be tough, but it is sometimes you should be able to laugh at yourself. It's okay to not be perfect. I think April Fool's Day is a great day to allow yourself to loosen up the control on needing things to be perfect in life, right? You don't need everything always to look a certain way and always work out perfect. You can fall down or laugh or cry and just be human. Enjoy being human. Sometimes the fool is the one willing to see differently, which is wonderful. It's open. I always think of the Fool card in the tarot. That's one of my favorite cards because it's infinite possibilities, and it's taking a leap and not even looking at where you're about to leap, but you're just looking ahead and you're just leaping. The Fool, you're just enjoy. So there is a shadow side to April Fool's Day, right? Pranks can sometimes go too far. People can get embarrassed. This again is going to be a certain distinction between taking something too serious and someone actually doing something in a way that was detrimental and it wasn't actually a funny prank, right? It can create confusion or harm for some people, and misinformation happens, especially in the online day and age that we're in. So it can blur truth versus a joke, and what's a joke to some people is not a joke to others. So play at your own discretion, right? Just play at your own discretion, and just know some people are not going to take it the way that you are delivering it, and you have to ask yourself that before you do your prank. And if you're cool with it, then cool. But if you get the backlash and it doesn't feel good and you want to adjust yourself, okay, cool, you learn something from it. That's the beauty of life. We're going to learn from everything. So it's all about balance, right? We want to be playful, but not harmful to other people. The line between humor and harm is intention. If you're intentionally trying to harm someone, bully someone, or make someone's life harder in a detrimental way, then you might want to ask yourself if you're really participating in April Fool's Day to be playful and humorous, or if you're just a cruel person and you're using this day to unmask your cruelness on the world. That's up to you to decide. So, in closing, April Fool's Day isn't just about tricking people. It's about perception, flexibility, and not taking everything so serious. It reminds us that reality isn't always as fixed as we think. So, did you grow up celebrating April Fool's Day? I always want to know if anyone participates in this holiday. And did you like it or did you avoid it? Let me know in the comments. Like this video. Enjoy your April Fool's Day if you're watching this on April 1st, or enjoy the next April 1st that's coming up. And let me know if you pulled any really cool pranks and they were fun. Or put some links to some videos of fun pranks that are in good humor and playful. So enjoy today. I had fun talking with you guys. I love you as always, and I will speak to you later.